What is going on, Jets fans? Welcome back to Jets Media. My name is Richie, and day 2 of Jets training camp wrapped up this morning. It was the first day where Jets fans were actually there. They got to witness Aaron Rodgers walk out there and see the New York Jets practice for the first time in the 2024 training camp. I will be there Tuesday. I am very excited for that. Saturday is another day where fans will be there. I'll be there Tuesday and next Saturday, which I'm absolutely stoked for. But let's get into what happened in today's practice because Aaron Rodgers goes off. He was slicing and dicing up the Jets defense. He had a huge connection with Garrett Wilson for a long touchdown on the first play of the day. He was surgical. The ball did not touch the floor, basically. All the Jets beat reporters are raving about Aaron Rodgers, and they are not taking for granted what they're witnessing in Aaron Rodgers. And the reality is this, folks. We don't know what Aaron Rodgers is as a Jets quarterback yet, because of the obvious what happened last year. But what we do know is that when he's healthy, he is still Aaron Rodgers. Don't let the people out there think that just because he's 40 years old and has an Achilles injury he's coming off of, he's washed up or anything. He's got the arm to do great things for the New York Jets this year. Another big takeaway is the offensive line looks completely revamped, and we still have 2 players not healthy that's on the offensive line, and they were able to give Aaron Rodgers all of the protection that he needed to get off of these throws. As you can see on the screen now, this was Aaron Rodgers' big-time completion to Garrett Wilson down the left sideline. Garrett Wilson was basically torching DJ Reed all day long. You see Aaron Rodgers load up this pass, and it is an absolute beauty. And the time that Aaron Rodgers had to throw this football is a thing of just, oh my God, Jets fans, let's not take for granted because we have one of the best left tackles in football now in Tyron Smith protecting his blind side. John Simpson over there at left guard. Joe Tippmann entering year number 2. And then AVT and Morgan Moses, they did not practice with the ones, but they're expected to be back in a week or two. Robert Saleh and the Jets coaching staff are playing it safe with them. We don't want them to get rushed back. But even with Wes Schweitzer at right guard and Max Mitchell at right tackle, the offensive line was phenomenal. Apparently, Max Mitchell was beating up on Michael Clemens all day at practice. I know that's going to make people think, oh, well, does that mean Michael Clemens sucks or does that mean Max Mitchell is doing good? I would take it as a good sign for the offensive line. That's the most important piece of this entire offseason for me personally, the depth of the offensive line, the health of the offensive line. So very positive stuff here. Aaron Rodgers, according to Connor Hughes, he took stats. He was not 13 of 16 with a touchdown in practice today. He was 9 of 12 with a touchdown and 11 on 11. He was 3 for 4 with a touchdown in the drive the field drill, highlighted by a 4th and 5 conversion to Conklin and a touchdown to Allen Lazard. So the big highlight was this, what you're seeing on the screen, Garrett Wilson going deep and beating our guy, DJ Reed, and then Allen Lazard keeps getting named, man. He keeps making some plays in practice. He keeps catching some touchdowns with Aaron Rodgers. And I said it in yesterday's video. I mean, I don't have a lot of expectations for Allen Lazard this year, but if he can just become a half of what he was in that last year at Green Bay with Rodgers, that's huge for wide receiver number 3 or 4. I'm telling you that right now. The obvious thing is Lazard and Rodgers has chemistry. The question is, will Aaron Rodgers be able to get the most out of Allen Lazard? So that's definitely a positive sign. The offense had a very, very good day. Aaron Rodgers looking surgical. And you watch the video that Connor Hughes made of him recapping training camp, and he's just blown away by Aaron Rodgers. And he's like, I've been covering this team for 11 years. He's never seen a quarterback make football look this easy. And let's be honest with ourselves, we've had a lot of bad quarterbacks that we had to watch at practice, and Connor Hughes is definitely raving about Aaron Rodgers. I can't wait to be there myself because being at practice is different. You get to see it with your own eyes, and it's always a joy to watch number 8 sling that rock around. Now, kicking over to the defensive side of the ball, Quantez Stiggers almost makes another crazy interception. He has a knack for the ball. I think he is going to be the star of training camp. He already has an interception in the first practice in 7-on-7s, and today he had an interception that he went out of bounds. I don't think it would have been ruled an interception in a game, but it's cool to see that his ball hawking ability, he has a knack for that football. I cannot wait to see his development. And we also heard from Jermaine Johnson, and he said something very interesting, and the Jets may put Jermaine Johnson inside at the defensive tackle position if they want to get the most elite type of pass rush going after on 3rd and long situations. Think of a defensive line on the football field that includes Hassan Reddick on the edge, Quinnen Williams inside, with Jermaine Johnson next to Quinnen Williams and Will McDonald. That is a 4 that will get to the quarterback efficiently. Now, I know Jermaine Johnson is more, your defensive end, your edge rusher, but I think his versatility and his physicality, he can line up inside and do those twists and those stunts and really get the most out of it. And he said, going up again, the closer you get to the center, the worse the blockers become. I think the Jets would be very smart to utilize Jermaine Johnson all over that defensive line this year, especially when you look at the interior for the Jets. It's not as strong as we've seen in the past. I mean, Javon Kinlaw and Lakey Fatu, those are the two new guys that we're going to see, and I definitely am expecting them to have career years, because every time the Jets bring in a new defensive tackle, they have the best seasons with the Jets. It's because of Quinnen Williams being on the team with them and the coaching staff and the culture and the mindset under Robert Saleh. So I think the Jets are going to get very creative on the defensive line. We also saw that the Jets officially placed Hassan Reddick on the did not report list. That's not really breaking news. Obviously, the holdout with Hassan Reddick and the Jets is definitely, hanging over the Jets' heads. I expect him to be on this team by the start of the season. And if there's one guy on this team that I'm not worried about missing camp, that will be ready football-wise and being in shape-wise, it's Hassan Reddick. I mean, the guy's 30 years old. He knows what he needs to do to prep his mind. He knows what he needs to prep his body for the season. Business is business. He wants to get paid. The Jets don't want to pay him. This happens all across the league, and I think the Jets are playing it smart right now, because I don't really want the Jets to just hand him a 4-year lucrative deal when he's done nothing for this football team. I'd rather Hassan Reddick show up and play the first few weeks of the season to see if he's worth extending or not for the long run. So I think the Jets are doing it smart here. They should not cave and just be like, all right, Hassan, we traded for you. And let's be honest, we barely gave up a lot of capital. So it's not like we have to extend him. Otherwise, the trade made no sense. We gave him a 2026 conditional third-round pick or something like that. And if he walks next year, we get a compensatory pick back. Therefore, it's a completely low-risk, high-reward situation for the Jets. They obviously brought in Reddick for the idea of a one-year rental to go all in for the Super Bowl this year. So that's really the biggest talking points. My biggest takeaway is definitely the offensive line, because we've never been able to see, this our quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, having this much time to throw the football. Even last year at camp, Aaron Rodgers was all over the place. And having Tyron Smith at left tackle is an absolute joy. And even Jermaine Johnson mentioned that. He's like, I get to go up against one of the best tackles in football every day of practice. Like, that's only going to make him better as a football player. And it's just so awesome that we have legit men running the show on the offensive line. Even Aaron Rodgers in his press conference yesterday brought it up. He's like, we actually have an offensive line now. Breece Hall talked to the media today. He's like happy about this offensive line, of course. He said he's guaranteeing an 1,000-yard season on the ground, which I'm guaranteeing as well for Breece Hall. But other than that, man, the vibes are through the roof. Aaron Rodgers was surgical today. The Jets fans were there. The vibes are through the roof. Don't let any Dolphins fan or rival fans or TD Finstock in particular try to infiltrate our minds as Jets fans and ruin our excitement. This is a great time to be a Jets fan, and I'm really, really excited to see what comes from this. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section, Jets fans, what you took away from day number 2 of training camp the most. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed. I'll catch you guys in the next video. I cannot wait. I keep saying it, but I can't wait to be at camp next Tuesday. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. I'll catch you in the next video. Let's go, Jets. Peace out, folks.